Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a New York City police officer is dead following a case of friendly fire during an attempted robbery. Plus, strong winds send a tree onto a home in one northeastern Kentucky county, narrowly missing the people inside. And a traffic alert for people driving in Perry County after a mudslide closes a road that may affect your morning drive.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 4:59 on Wednesday, February the 13th. I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning into Mountain News this morning. Well, it's a chilly start to your morning. There was actually ice on the roof of my car, which yesterday fell as rain. So let's bring Brandon in on this. Brandon, we are no longer in a severe weather alert day this morning. Rivers and streams are still high, but really the threat is out of the way. It's just going to be relatively cold for people heading to work or to the bus stop this morning.
Exactly. And here's the thing. The river's still kind of rising because of the simple fact that all that water is still draining into them. So keep an eye on that. But otherwise, we were in pretty good shape this morning when it comes to the active weather pattern. Let's go to the cameras. We start at WYMT here in Hazard. And again, no major issues this morning. We do have a road closing we're going to tell you about here in just a couple of seconds. But you see a lot of green boxes still out there on radar. That's a lot of flood advisors and flood warnings for a lot of the rivers. But those are, again, just flood warnings for the rivers. No active systems coming through this morning. We're looking at a couple of temperatures down this morning over in the Big Sandy, but most spots in the 30s as we head out the door. 31 is one of the cooler spots. The winds are still cranking, so that means wind chills, so it's going to feel much colder in some areas. 18 is what it feels like in Wise and Lexington right now, so just kind of keep that in mind. Your planner for today, 30s for a little while, then we'll climb to right around 40, maybe some low 40s for some folks, but the big thing is sunny skies, so that's going to be pretty nice and feel pretty nice as we head into the daytime hours. All right, the rest of the forecast coming up here in just a little bit. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. Well, new this morning, the New York City Police Department says one of its detectives died after being shot by friendly fire Tuesday night. Detective Brian Simonson was 42 years old and was a 19-year veteran member of the NYPD who was set to retire soon. Another officer was shot in the leg and is in stable condition. The officers who were shot were responding to an armed robbery in Queens at a cell phone store when uniformed officers arrived, mistaking them for suspects. Well, it was a rude wake-up call after a tree crashed through a home with people sleeping inside. Greenup County 911 got the call just after 5 p.m. Tuesday. The Lode Volunteer Fire Department responded to a tree on top of both a mobile home and multiple vehicles. No one thankfully was hurt. And Amy Wilson, one of the people who lives there but was not home at the time, says that's a miracle.
They was the only two home. They was in the bed, actually in the bed where the tree fell. It was just like, literally limbs, where they was dodging limbs trying to keep from getting hit with them.
Wilson tells us this is the second time a tree has hit the home in the past 5 years. Well, we have a traffic alert to pass along to you this morning. As Brandon alluded to, North Main Street here in Hazard is still closed this morning as crews continue to try to clear a mudslide. Hazard police tell us that the street is shut down at Riverview Auto and will be closed until at least 7 this morning. We are told trees are also down on power lines and Kentucky Power is on site. We will keep you posted on when the road reopens. Well, a mudslide delayed travel Tuesday on a road in Floyd County. This is a picture of Kentucky 1428. Crews have spent a lot of time there during the past few weeks. Yesterday, it turned into only some minor cleanup. The road never closed, but flaggers did help direct traffic. And crews plan to wait to finish cleanup on a slide in Pike County. For now, they have moved the rock and mud to the side of the road along US 460 near East Ridge High School. They hope a nice and dry day today will help them haul all of that off quicker. They do not plan on closing 460 during the process. Well, when it rains like it has been, people living in areas prone to flooding already know to be on the lookout for high water. That is exactly the case for a community in Estill County along the Kentucky River. After 2 to 3 inches of rain fell since this weekend on already saturated grounds, water levels near Ravenna are expected to rise into a minor flood stage this morning. Emergency officials say never to drive through floodwater. And the flooding led to a water rescue in Louisville yesterday morning. Here is what the southeast side of the city looked like on Tuesday. The driver realized they were in trouble just after 6 in the morning. That road was closed for several hours. There was flooding in the other counties along the Ohio River as well. A flood warning is still in effect for the river at Huntington. Now, while we dealt with the rain here, much of the Midwest and Northeast faced snow, sleet, and freezing rain. There were ice-coated yards, street signs, and branches in northern Indiana. That snow and ice brought down power lines in South Bend and caused big problems on some roads, leaving interstate highways littered with overturned cars. New Jersey's governor did declare a state of emergency.
We continue to urge everybody to please take it slow and to proceed with caution.
Now, bad weather in Detroit forced a military plane bringing members of the House of Representatives to the funeral for former Congressman John Dingell to turn around. In Missouri now, a picture of 2 paramedics going above and beyond the call of duty during the winter storm has gone viral. The men pushed a patient nearly a mile up an icy hill to get her to the hospital after their ambulance got stuck. The 2 men said they had no idea someone had taken their picture while they were going up the hill. They say they are enjoying all the nice comments people have been leaving, thanking them for their hard work. Well, in other news this morning, one person is recovering this morning after a train crashed into a delivery truck in Lee County, Virginia. Officials with the Big Stone Gap Fire Department say the truck was struck by a Norfolk Southern train just inside the Lee County line off US 23. The truck driver was taken to Holston Valley Medical Center. No word on their injuries or what led to the collision. Well, thank you for joining. Thank you for getting your day started with us right here on Mountain News this morning. Still to come, a Central Kentucky man reels in an odd catch with some unusual bait.
So much colder air will greet you as you head out the door this morning. The good news is that the skies are finally clearing. I'll have all the details in just a few minutes.